with Chapter Chicks. The book we're going to be talking about today is Beautiful Darkness by Garcia and Margaret Stohl. This book was released October 12th of 2010 by Little Brown Books. It has 501 pages. It is written in first person from the mind of Ethan Waite, the male protagonist. So if you do not know, Beautiful Darkness is the sequel to Beautiful Creatures. So if you have not read Beautiful Creatures by Garcia and Margaret Stohl, I do not recommend watching this video because there will be spoilers to this book. There won't be spoilers to this book, but there will be spoilers to this book. So if you have not read it, please, please, please do not keep watching because this is a really good book and I do not want to spoil it for you. Ethan Waite is in love with a caster girl, but not just any caster girl, Lena Duchesne's. A caster who has just lost her father figure uncle, who has an evil cousin, and who has been cursed. You see, casters must choose on their 16th birthday whether or not they're going to be good or whether they're going to be evil. But by a series of unfortunate events, Lena has escaped this decision until her 17th birthday because you see, if she chooses good, every evil member of her family will die. And if she chooses evil, every good member will. Ethan and Lena have been through a lot, and I don't think they could have gotten through what they did get through without each other. But unfortunately, Lena is starting to pull away, just as they are starting to face their toughest challenge yet. Okay, I just want to say that I like this book way better than I liked Beautiful Creatures. When I first read Beautiful Creatures, I was completely fangirl over it, and I really liked it. But after the time that has passed, I don't really remember much of it, and that's kind of what a good book is to me, is what you really get out of it, and I didn't get as much out of Beautiful Creatures as I got out of Beautiful Darkness. Let's talk about the characters. I really love the characters in this book. They are completely fantastic, and they are something that really makes the book. The one thing that I wish I could have changed, though, a little bit was I would really like to see from Lena's perspective, so I think that this would be a book that really would benefit from switching from Ethan to Lena. I understand that they really can't do that just to keep the secrets that Lena keeps from Ethan, but I think that it would be really beneficial for the readers and maybe make it a little easier on the writing too if you could see what Lena was thinking sometimes. There is a new character in this book named Liv, and I absolutely adore her. I think she is a great character, and I think that she really gives this book a little extra something that it hadn't had before. And a character you may be familiar with from Beautiful Creatures is a lot more involved in this sequel, and that is Link, and I absolutely love him. I really cannot wait to see more about him. He brings humor to a story that is only drama, and I really like that. I really like the easygoing best friend characters who actually have a personality and not are just focused on one trait, and Link has a full-blown personality, and I love him. Now let's talk about the plot. One thing I really liked about Beautiful Darkness' plot was, like I said, I forgot a lot of stuff that had happened in Beautiful Creatures except for the main things. So, and this book did a really, really good job of recapping without making it feel like a recap. And I really, really appreciated that because I didn't remember much, and this is a book that you really have to know what's going on to be able to predict what's going to happen and what's going to take place. One thing I liked about Beautiful Darkness better than Beautiful Creatures was that since we already know all the secrets and all the things that are set up in Beautiful Creatures, Beautiful Darkness is much faster paced. It goes way quicker than Beautiful Creatures did, and I really, really liked that because this is such an interesting world and you really get to see a lot more of it in Beautiful Darkness. This book is very action-packed. There wasn't a moment where I was like, okay, can we get to the next part, or where I was feeling bored. I was constantly wanting to know what was going to happen next. I read 100 pages in one night, and then I went to bed because I had to work the next morning. And then the next time that I didn't have to work, I sat down and finished the book. And this is a thick book, and 100 pages is about right here. So I read this much in one day just because even as I thought to put it down, I was not wanting to. I did take a few breaks in between reading it just because I was at my boyfriend's house, and obviously if I sat down and read that many pages, he would be very, very bored. But I devoured it in one day, and I really liked it, and it was just because it was so filling. It was so full of action that I just couldn't put it down. Another thing I liked more about Beautiful Darkness than I did about Beautiful Creatures was that it was easier to understand. Like I said before, everything is set up in Beautiful Creatures, but it's a mystery until the middle of the book. So I was constantly a little confused in Beautiful Creatures, just trying to figure everything out, and by the time I got to the exciting part of Beautiful Creatures, I was just so busy trying to get to the end to see what happened that I wasn't really paying enough attention and got a little confused as to what was actually going on. But that did not happen in Beautiful Darkness, even as I was page turning, dying, devouring the book, the pages, and the words. I didn't feel confused in this. I understood everything that was going on, and I understood more stuff from Beautiful Creatures than I did when I read Beautiful Creatures. Another thing I really liked about this book was that I felt there were several climaxes. I was like halfway through the book and I'm like, where is this book going to go if this is not the most exciting part? And then that happened again, and then it leads to this crazy event, and it was absolutely amazing. I think that the plot was very well written in this book. So now a little bit about the writing. I really like the writing in this book. It's written by two authors, Cami Garcia and Margaret Stohl, who are absolutely hilarious in person, and I really can't tell the difference between the two writers in this book. I don't know where Cami begins and Margaret ends, and I like that. I think that it's very cool that this was a co-written book, although I don't know how anyone could do that the way that it's done. I think if they would have done it from Ethan and Lena's perspective, one of them writing Ethan, one of them writing Lena, then it would have been a lot easier, but they chose the more difficult path, and it really paid off in the end because it is a very good book. Now, I know you're probably wondering whether or not this book has the it factor, and I'm going to say that it definitely does. This has everything a YA book needs and more, so definitely check it out, especially if you're a big fan of YA. One thing I like about the cover of this book and the cover of Beautiful Creatures is that they're not your typical YA book cover. Because if you think about it, most YA book covers have this pretty font, and then they just have a picture of a girl, and she's like looking off to the side, or a picture of a girl and a guy, and that's okay. I do enjoy covers like that, but I think that these covers with the crazy stuff going on in the background is really cool. And what's really interesting is this weird little stuff that's going on. Like, those are stairs, if you guys can't see that. And then this one's a tree. I like the tree better just because I have a thing for trees. But this one's a tree and it has to do with the story. And this one's stairs, and that also has to do with the story. And I also like how they're different, but they're the same at the same time. And they look so pretty on your bookshelf. This is just a beautiful series. Beautiful Darkness. I didn't mean to do that. I did not. But yeah, it's a very pretty cover, and that makes it even better because I love when books look pretty on my bookshelf. So that is all I have to say about Beautiful Darkness by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stohl. I'm Jessica with Chapter Chicks, and this chapter is for you.